Hi, my name is Natalie Ragland, and I'm a junior majoring in environmental science at the University of New Hampshire. Currently, for the past couple of months, I've been the Ecosystem Sustainability Steward at Hurricane Island Center of Science and Leadership. So, what is Hurricane Island? Well, Hurricane Island is about 12 miles off the coast of Rockland, Maine, in the Penobscot Bay region. It is a smaller island. This island has two functions. The first function is about research. They do research on marine ecology, sustainable aquaculture, and sustainability. The second part of Hurricane Island is their educational programs they run. They run programs for middle school, high school, open programs, school programs. We once had kindergartners come. They do educational programs surrounding marine ecology, sustainability, and much, much more, which means I got to be on an island for a couple of months, which is really cool. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about my project and what my deliverables were. So I was working more on the educational side. There were two parts to it. The first part was running, co-educating on different programs surrounding marine ecology, climate change, sustainability, and sustainable aquaculture. These programs would have a main theme, and then there would be more core lessons to delve into each day. If you can see here in the pictures, you can see some of these programs in action. So here we're doing on the left side of the the right side bottom photo, you can see we're doing an ITZ intertidal zone green crab ID. We're doing a scallop dissection at the top photo, and then also lobstering. The second part of our deliverable was creating a curriculum. So I had two lesson plans that I needed to create. The first lesson plan was about something in an educational marine ecosystem or education on sustainable gear in the ocean, such as sustainable gear like spat bags or buoys, anything that was sustainable and in like a marine sense. The second part of my deliverable was an ongoing lesson, an ongoing data collection project for students to engage in. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the results that came at the end of my 2 months. There were two results since I had kind of two parts to my deliverables. The first were my lessons that I had created. The first lesson that I created was on marine debris. There is a lot of buoys and marine debris that wash up on these islands because they're just natural filters and natural catchments before they go off into the ocean. And we already had a like marine debris cleanup. So I decided to create this marine debris lesson before talking about what it is, what microplastics are, kind of why they were significant and how we could be doing better. And that kind of goes into the second, the more long-term ongoing data collection. So we had this researcher, Sue Van Hook. She came and did research on her mycobuoy and had left some. And they're this biodegradable buoy that, unlike plastic, it dissolves before the end of the year, so in the season. And this can be really significant if they get it full term to be really good to help reduce our marine debris and reduce those buoys washing up on islands, which is really important for our bird islands that are recovering, our species that are recovering. This data collection be would include students going out and observing both a regular buoy and a myco buoy and observing the differences, especially in the middle of the year, since the myco buoy starts to dissolve by then. And then they would come back to the classroom and they would get more data on the ocean for the day. And then they would graph the temperature versus how it was degrading. And then they would also see a long-term data collection point of that buoy for that year. And it would be this ongoing data collection that would help increase the data literacy and also help point out different results and help show how we can take a graph and we can gain results from it and make observations. So it's really important during this lesson to kind of help them see how graphs are done and how everything kind of works. The second point to my results is teaching results in the educational programs. So when we educate, the students will gain connection to this island. Not every student comes from a background in which they can explore nature every single day. So coming here, they get to embrace and have a connection with nature that they might not normally get. They gain resilience. So they gain the power to be able to do problem solve and decision making. And um, we have been told multiple times that this climate change is super scary. And so they gain resilience to kind of take that scary thing and make it powerful and positive. They also gain leadership skills and critical thinking skills, thinking deeper. And we always ask questions. It's not a formatted, it's not like a normal classroom. We really want them to have the critical thinking and to come up with the ideas. So we ask questions. And then they also gain stewardship skills about how important our resources are. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the impacts and why this education is so important and why these lessons are important. Not everybody from our programs actually come from Maine. They actually come from outside of Maine. And so we really, while our lessons are very place based, we really want it to be more of a bigger picture so that they may take what they learn here and actually apply it to their own communities. So this encourages growth and leadership in different communities. It also means that sustainability, marine education actually reach areas outside of Maine because actually marine education and sustainability is important not just on an island, but everywhere. It also, I've talked about this a little bit in my last slide, it increases data literacy. So it allows scientific knowledge and understanding of science to flourish in different communities. And it's kind of a key to unlock this treasure of the scientific world that sometimes is very locked. So it's really important that we increase. And yeah, that's mostly my entire couple of months on Hurricane Island. I just really wanted to quickly say thank you to everybody on Hurricane Island. It's was such a truly like life-changing experience. The community was amazing, so I really appreciate my mentors and everybody. And yeah, hope everybody has a great day.